What's something you once strongly believed, and now don't believe at all? That adults have everything figured out and their life is a smooth journey on a fixed path. Everything is just people. It's people all the way down and people all the way up. Stupid, brilliant, selfish, caring, manipulative, manipulated, busy, bored, ordinary people. There's no point at which you reach something that doesn't rest on the shoulders of people. On one hand, it's kind of a bummer to realize there's no grand plan that everyone is working toward, there's no guaranteed outcome or shared goal. On the other hand, it means change is always possible. As a young child, I used to believe I was the subject of an experiment that everyone was in on but me. Like the Truman Show, I used to try and turn my head quickly and catch people out or try and spot a camera. Later as an adult, I watched the Truman Show for the first time and the memory came flooding back. Edit. Wow. I'm truly amazed at how many people have experienced this. Autism has been mentioned several times. This is also something I wonder about myself but have never done anything about. Not sure where to begin. I also used to think people could read my mind. I know this isn't true now, but sometimes I panic that some people can, even to this day. That I'd be married by now. Turns out you need someone who also believes that for you. That food pyramid we were taught in school for what our diet should consist of. On hindsight, we should have known it was horseshit when it recommended such enormous portions of carbohydrates and such small portions of fruits. Ah yes, 14 slices of bread, 1 gallon of milk, and a single blueberry. A balanced diet. That I am special, and destined for great things. I'm so thankful I grew up in a trailer, in a failing little town. My idea of success was to have windows that didn't open with a crank. I went to college, got a degree, got my dream job, which, in hindsight, was just a regular job that most people would probably be able to get if they worked towards it. I feel bad for kids who grow up being told they're gifted, and they'll break the mold and become famous or whatever. I keep telling my daughter to work hard and think about the kind of life she wants to live. Does she want a big house, with 2 dogs, and a yard? Or maybe a regular apartment in the city? I never tell her that she's destined to be in the history books. Most of those people aren't even happy anyway. Just figure out what kind of life you want to live, for yourself, and don't worry about whatever crazy dreams people packed your head with. That karma would punish the bad people, eventually. Even in Hinduism, effectively the source of karma in the modern world, is like, but when they die they'll turn into a worm in their next life, and that's their karmic punishment. Cool, good to know that being a bug for like a month makes up for 70+ years of being a dick. That everyone could get along. Becoming an adult has soured my opinion of people in general, I'm no different. I used to think everyone is genuinely nice with no hidden agendas, and that made me trust everyone easily. That the people who we elect as our leaders care about our country. What goes around comes around. Yup. I used to firmly believe in karma, but as I got older and saw more and more people get away with being complete pieces of shit on a daily basis, I no longer believe karma is real. Most of them are rich and live seemingly dope lives. Edit. I realize that this is not the true definition of karma, but this is what my generation was told karma was growing up. What goes around comes around. This is what I'm referring to here. Grew up with the idea that if people work hard then you'll find success. People who are poor or underprivileged were simply lazy. How ignorant of me. WWE. Oh wait, so Undertaker didn't actually return from the dead? There's no soulmate. We can nurture love in different person with reasonable compatibility if we both are mature enough. I was strongly anti-abortion my entire life. Until they banned abortion. I realized how freaking scary it was that the government could just do that to women's rights. How slippery a slope that was. Then I realized I was anti-abortion for myself, and that everyone had the right to make that choice for themselves. That the government shouldn't be interfering with our bodies and our healthcare. I was also a Christian who is now agnostic, so they may have something to do with the way I thought before too. I kind of had one of those moments of realization where it's like, I think I'm anti-abortion in that I'm definitely not pro-abortion, but I wouldn't stop someone else from getting one as it should be their decision. Hang on, I think I might have just described pro-choice. That everything is gonna be alright. You just have to learn that even if everything is fucked, it's still alright. That I'll figure out life when I grow up. That poop can't just leak out, found out today it can. That adults know what they're doing. As a child, I believed that whenever we slept all our hair would fall off and we would randomly get a stranger's hair the next day. And I believed that that's why some days were a good hair day and some days bad. I strongly believed this for a long time. XD. This would be a hilarious short film and you should absolutely make it. That I would grow up to be a Ninja Turtle. Working hard can get you anything you want. Hard work is important and can get you really far, but certain achievements take a lot of luck as well. That everything happens for a reason. Not everything happens necessarily for a reason. Some things are totally random and it's best to make peace with this fact. Saying everything happens for a reason is a huge dick move to people who have had serious traumatic things happen to them. Oh, I got gang raped 'cause it's God's plan? Family murdered 'cause God's plan? People going through all the terrible shit in war was God's plan? No, fuck that. Someone said that to me after a funeral, and I responded with, yes, the reason my dad died is because he had cancer. No one has said it to me since. The justice system, and government in general. There was a dude in the sky who cared if I masturbated. I care. Or are you on a plane right now? There's no such thing as a stupid question. As someone who works in customer service, that is in fact not true. That we have a functioning democracy in the United States. My parents convinced me that Halloween was a holiday that was only meant to worship Satan. Do not think that at all now. It is just a bunch of kids trying to get candy. And some teens trying to scare the most kids. Kids. Candy time adults. Slutty costumes nobody. Let's worship Satan. God. Meritocracy. I used to be a big believer in meritocracy. I grew up middle class in the poorest state in the nation. Did pretty decent in high school and went to college on scholarship. Completed college with a degree and got a job in another state. Worked hard and did decently well and have a nice life. I thought anyone could achieve anything they wanted if they worked hard enough. And then, I had kids. We live in a place where the public schools are pretty bad, so we send our kids to private school. This was a struggle for us, but we wanted the best for them. This opened up an entire world to me that I had never seen before. I got to see the upper class and how that world works, and even through this tiny view I had, it is clear that merit has little to nothing to do with that world. Joseph Smith was a prophet and a good man. Having a house of my own, freaking economy. God. I was super religious in a non-religious family. I was thinking of converting from Anglican to becoming Catholic. I started a nursing degree in October 1972. Within a month I became an atheist and have been since. What I saw as a nursing student made me think that if a God did exist, they were indeed very cruel. Is God willing to prevent evil, but not able? Then he is not omnipotent. Is he able, but not willing? Then he is malevolent. Is he both able and willing? Then whence cometh evil? Is he neither able nor willing? Then why call him God? Epicurus. Biblical inerrancy. It took me a long time to come to grips with the errancy of biblical inerrancy. Belief in Book of Mormon inerrancy. It is so transparently the work of an imaginative 19th century fraudster writing, in what sounds a little like 17th century King James English syntax. That you can trust all people. That if people know the results of their actions, they'd act with some kind of conscience. Turns out they have the ability to delude themselves into believing their own superiority much more easily than just listening to reason. That I can't do better than my meth-addicted, abusive, cheating ex. You are way better, never forget that.